What if the story of Blood of My Blood isn't just continuing, but about to change everything we thought we knew? Season 2 is on the horizon, and it looks like secrets, heartbreak, and unexpected reunions are waiting for us. The first season left us hanging on so many cliffhangers that it almost feels unfair. But now, the biggest question is, what's next for Brian, Ellen, Henry, and Julia? Let's dive deep into what Season 2 might have in store, and why this could be the most emotional chapter yet. Let's start with Brian and Ellen, the couple who finally reunited after all that longing and heartbreak. Their happiness, however, might be painfully short-lived. At the end of Season 1, we saw the 1715 Jacobite Rising about to begin, something that's been foreshadowed from the very first episode. What surprised me most was how determined Brian seemed. Ready to join the rebellion without hesitation, even if it means leaving Ellen again. And Ellen, just as strong, promises to stand by him until the end. But history in this world has never been kind to love stories, has it? Think about Claire and Jamie from Outlander. Separated for years by war, their love made more powerful by the distance, yet it tore our hearts apart watching them live through it. If Brian and Ellen go through the same pain, and so soon after finding each other, it could be absolutely devastating. But what if this time there's more at stake than just love? I have a strong feeling that Ellen might be pregnant when Season 2 begins. Imagine the heartbreak. A woman living as a fugitive, carrying Brian's child, while he marches toward battle. And here's the wildest theory. What if that child turns out to be Jamie himself? It would be the ultimate twist that ties Blood of My Blood directly to the Outlander legacy. Could it really happen? But Ellen won't be completely alone. We know Murtaugh will join the uprising as well. And if there's one person who would protect Ellen no matter the cost, it's him. Even in chaos, Murtaugh's loyalty runs deeper than blood. I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes the bridge between families, trying to make peace between Dougal, Colum, and Ellen. Imagine Murtaugh convincing them to forgive her. That alone could be one of the most emotional arcs of the season. And who knows? Maybe his growing connection with Jocasta will bring unexpected warmth to this dark time. Speaking of surprising relationships, let's talk about Dougal and Mora. Who saw that marriage coming? Their chemistry was undeniable, but seeing them actually tie the knot added a new layer to the story. With the Jacobite Rising about to erupt, Dougal is stepping into leadership like never before. Colum, who once made terrible decisions about Ellen's future, might finally have to let go of control. This means we'll probably see Dougal, Murtaugh, and Brian fighting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, a rare unity forged by war. Yet peace never lasts long in this world, does it? Enter Malcolm's uncle, Monsieur Grant. Now that Malcolm is gone, Grant's thirst for revenge could ignite an entirely new conflict. We've seen how dangerous vengeance can be in this story, and if Grant becomes Lord of the Grants, he'll have both the power and rage to strike back. This means that while Brian and Dougal are caught in the chaos of the Jacobite Rising, they might also have to defend themselves from Grant's attacks. That could force unexpected alliances, enemies becoming allies, brothers forced to trust each other again. Can forgiveness survive when revenge burns so deeply? What do you think? Could Brian and Dougal really unite? Now let's move to another couple whose fate is even more uncertain, Henry and Julia. Their journey through time and love has already tested every boundary. At the end of Season 1, we saw them trying to pass through the stones together, but were they successful? That's the question haunting everyone. Season 2 will likely begin by revealing whether they made it through, or if tragedy stopped them once again. I've been thinking about something ever since the finale. Remember how gemstones are required for time travel? As far as we know, Henry and Julia didn't have any. That could mean they never made it through and Archbug caught them just in time. If that's true, Julia and William could be handed over to Simon Fraser, just as promised. But here's where it gets darker. Simon now knows that Julia and Henry share the same last name. What happens when he realizes William isn't his child? His mercy might vanish completely. Julia could end up imprisoned again, but this time under far crueler conditions. And if William stays behind, he might grow up believing he's part of the Fraser line. Another heartbreaking twist. Henry's fate could be just as tragic. With Malcolm gone and Archbug's hatred burning stronger, Henry might lose everything. his freedom, his love, his name. Could he end up as M. Grant's servant? A prisoner? Or something even worse? Maybe Brian will come to his rescue trying to repay the debt of saving Ellen. But what if that rescue comes too late? Still, there's another possibility. One that gives us hope. Henry mentioned hearing that same strange buzzing sound before passing through the stones. What if he and Julia actually did travel through time, but to different eras? Imagine the pain of knowing your soulmate exists in another century. Close enough to feel, but impossible to reach. The story could split into two timelines, each filled with longing and fate. Could love survive across time once again? Now let's talk about what everyone's waiting for. When will we actually see Season 2? While there's still no official release date, there's good news. Hermione Corfield, who plays Julia, revealed on October 11th that filming for the 7th episode has already wrapped. That means production is nearly finished. Once post-production begins, a late 2026 or early 2027 release seems likely. It feels far away, but if the story is as deep and emotional as it promises to be, it'll be worth the wait. So, what are you expecting from Blood of My Blood Season 2? Will Brian and Ellen's love survive the uprising? Will Henry and Julia finally be free or lost to time forever? There are so many possibilities, and every theory feels just as exciting as the next. Let's talk about your predictions in the comments. And if you think you've already seen the biggest twists this series can offer, think again. The story of love, loss, and destiny is only just beginning.